Like seriously, like there's a lot of the feeling of like someone being left at the altar. Like you had no idea they were going to do this and they just bailed. And then you never saw them again. Taurus, welcome to your reading. So I've actually re-recorded this intro here just because these readings are actually turning out to be longer than expected. So I feel like they're worth like a good weekly reading. So because they were intended for the last week's all signs originally. And then I found out a lot wordier than I expected. So here we are. So I hope you enjoy. Have a good day. Let's get started. 3-card reading. First card tells a little bit about the situation, what false beliefs you may be having that may be getting in the way of you having a new love relationship. Second card, these are being goofy. Second card is the advice on what you can do to help resolve that within yourself. What to maybe look at and understand, that for your situation. Third card is basically what kind of symbol. It could be a symbol, it could be numbers, could be anything, some sort of repeating pattern that the universe can show you to let you know that your next love is coming in. So, which I'll explain more about that at that point. So let's check this out. Should be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, because yes, check your major placements for a good comprehensive look, and see if there's anything in the others that resonates with you. Should be Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What happened in the past? All right, we have the Chariot, 2 of Cups. Okay. I'm going to go over these in just a moment here. I'm going to pull out everything. Show me the advice or what Taurus needs to hear to help resolve this within themselves. Okay. 7 of Swords. Gotcha. Okay. So show me what kind of patterns or numbers or anything that Taurus would see as a repeating alarm that their new love is coming. We have King of Swords. Okay. All right. Okay, Taurus. So what we've got from the past here is we have the Chariot and the 2 of Cups. Somebody took off and just bailed on you. It feels like without warning. It also feels like potentially this is a like runaway bride. You left them at the altar kind of thing. So that may be you, take it as it resonates. But it does feel like someone very suddenly left, and it was very, very jarring. Like seriously, like there's a lot of the feeling of like someone being left at the altar. Like you had no idea they were going to do this and they just bailed. And then you never saw them again. So what it left behind was a fear that that would happen again. And really, I feel like there was no communications about it. There were no discussions. You never actually found out why. Or if you did find out, it wasn't through that person. It was through like friends or something that suddenly said, oh, well, so-and-so got somebody pregnant and blah, 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 or something like that. It was like a sideways way that you figured out like what happened. And so it's like somebody just bailed on you very suddenly. And you didn't understand the reasoning. And you never were really given the reason. So the fact that you weren't given the reason probably means it has nothing to do with you. With this being the advice, 7 of Swords. With this being the advice, something tells me that that had nothing to do with you. There was nothing within you that actually caused this situation. There's no reason to feel any sort of guilt or fear that it could happen again because it had nothing to do with you. So, yes, there's, self-worth things that are triggered by that, right? Self-worth things that are triggered by that type of situation. Am I not good enough to talk to? Why didn't you just frickin' tell me? Why did you leave me like that? Why did you just drive away? You know, that kind of thing. And never come back. So it causes you to move into, you know, self-worth questioning, right? Self-worth questioning. Thing is that in regards to that situation, now self-worth shadows. Self-worth shadows are very complex and deep and everything like that. And this is just one aspect of it, okay? And right here, for this aspect, right here, what they're saying is that fake it till you make it, okay? You need to start telling yourself that it wasn't you. They were just fuckers, right? It wasn't you. They were just fuckers. You need to start telling yourself that. You haven't told yourself that. You need to start really standing on it. So if you go back to explaining, like, say you're talking to somebody you trust about like what happened in that situation, and you're going over it over and over again, you know, just reviewing everything, how you felt and how your heart dropped into your stomach when they just took off or whatever, that type of thing. And you're explaining that. While you were telling that story, I need you to start standing from the outside and thinking about, what would you think if that happened to your best friend? You are your best friend. You are your best friend. And so what would you think? God, what a dickbag, right? No, yeah. And so that's something where you start to stand up for yourself, and then you start to realize that had nothing to do with me. There's a lot of situations where, yes, it does take two because it's a relationship, right? And the thing is that, sure, maybe there's a little something, you know, but I really feel like you were truly, honestly surprised by this whole thing. You had no idea it was coming, and it had nothing to do with you. It had everything to do with what they were going through. And so you have to tell yourself, it's all on them. You need to, it's going to feel like you're lying to yourself because you want to take responsibility for it. If it's going to feel like you're lying to yourself, you need to start saying that was their fault. They were the only ones that could do that. And it just happened to come to me because I'm strong enough to take it. That's what I always tell myself. I don't know why that makes me feel better, but it does. It makes me feel better because I'm strong enough and it didn't hurt somebody else that would have been absolutely crushed by it. Because you're Taurians, right? You're Taurians. You guys are like the strongest and sturdiest and most grounded out there in the zodiac. So the thing is that you are strong enough to handle it. And so that's where you start telling yourself, I was strong enough to handle this. What an interesting experience. Fuck that guy. See you later. You know, that kind of thing. Okay, I guess that's it. They're telling me that's it. Apparently I said what you need to hear. All right, so let's talk about the future then, okay? So we're going to talk about the future. So the universe works in a way where you can set into it, like a computer, little alarms where it will show you little things, you know, and if you see patterns of certain behaviors, they mean certain things, right? Like correspondences or numbers. You know, everybody's always looking for 1111 or blah, 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 blah. You know, that kind of thing, right? So the thing is that I asked the universe, what pattern is it that Taurus needs to look for when you start seeing these things, to let you know that new love is coming your way, and to keep an eye out. Just kind of keep an eye out. Now, it's going to be within a week. You're going to see multiple ones of these, okay? Not just one. And you don't have to worry about accidentally missing it, okay? Because the universe is going to put it to you. It's kind of like an alarm clock where it goes beep, 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 you know, that kind of thing. But suddenly you're going to be like, oh, there's one. Okay. Well, all right. And then you go on, and like the next day you see another one. You're going to be like, that's weird. Right? And then that's when you start going, that's weird. That's when you start realizing there's a pattern here. Is there an alarm going off? So we've got the King of Swords here. Now, so with this image, you look at this here, you see there's an owl in the corner. This bottom corner right here. There's an owl in there. And there's also a bat flying by right here. Okay? So, because this is a very air sign, of course, but the thing is, I feel like maybe bats for some of you, maybe bats. Maybe bats, but we don't see bats often, but the thing is, I feel like somebody here is going to resonate with the bats, seeing bats over and over and over again. You don't see them very often. And when they do show up, you're like, oh, there it is, you know, that kind of thing. Now, if you see bats every day, that's not for you. It's kind of like looking for 1111 and waiting for it on your clock phone, because it shows up every fucking day, twice a day. It's like, stop it. You need to set up something that you don't see very often. So, somebody, it's bats. The others, and I feel like it's most of you, is owls. Okay? Owls, or owl shapes, owl symbols, owl faces, logos, could be anything like that. So you don't have to actually see an owl. It could be something where you come across like multiple things of owls on Netflix. You know what I mean? You're like, what's with all this fucking owl shit? You know what I mean? You're gonna be like, what? And then you're gonna be like, oh, there's the pattern. That's how the universe works. It's gonna keep showing it to you until your brain goes, why do I keep seeing this? Your brain's it's gonna keep showing it to you. So I promise to you. so what I need you to do is say out loud, okay, with your voice. This is magic right here. Okay, this is magic. Out loud with your voice. So this is why I also say, watch what you say out loud. Okay, saying things out loud. If you say negative things out loud, you're bringing it out here. Words are spells. Okay. So what I'm going to say is, I want you to put it out there to the universe. I want you to say, universe, I want you to show me any type of owl multiple times over the course of a week, when it is time for my next love to come in to my life. I want you to say it 3 times. 3 times. And then when it does come back, now it may be months, okay? Could be weeks, months, days, anything. So when they come in, I want you to come back to this video and I want you to comment and be like, oh my God, it worked. So do that, check that out. It is possible that you may forget about the pattern, which is fine, because you're just going about your life, your daily life. Don't be looking for owls. Don't be doing that. Looking for 1111. None of that. None of that. Don't look for it. It'll show it to you when it's time, when the alarm's going off. It's like watching the microwave count down to 0. Don't do that. It's pointless. It's going to let you know when it's done. It'll let you know. But yeah, sometimes you do forget about it. I forgot. I set 963 for when I'm supposed to find my perfect house when we relocated across the country. I set the number 963, and months later, a 963 starts popping up all over the place. I'm like, oh my God, because I know that I set that number all the time for different things. I'm like, that's the number. Okay, what did I set? I forgot what I set. So you might want to note it in like a notepad in your phone or something like that. I always laugh at myself for that. All right, Taurus, that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.